Hey guys! So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can fix your broken makeup. So anything that's like a powder compact, for example, eyeshadows, blushes, bronzers, foundations, anything that's like a powder like this, it can be fixed if it's broken. So this one right here is the broken one that I'm going to be fixing, and as you can see, it's still in the package. I bought it this way. I did that for a reason. I wanted to show you how I do this, and I tried to make this video before, but I kept on having uploading malfunctions, so I just quit on it. I deleted the video, but this is what I bought. I bought it broken, and I fixed it, and now this is what it looks like. And unfortunately, that video didn't work out, but hopefully today's works fine. So I bought this just like this, broken and everything. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to just let you know that if you see something on the shelf that's broken like this, you can fix it, and you can usually just ask them for a discounted price. And I got mine at Target, and I got half off of both of these because they were broken on the shelf. And I knew that I could just go home and fix it. So it ended up being worth it because I like playing with makeup anyways. So if you want to see how to fix your broken makeup, then just stay tuned. The things that you're going to need for this is, of course, your broken makeup. You're going to need a plastic bag, and a sandwich bag like this should be just fine. You're also going to need something to mix with. I'm using this, but you can honestly just use like a knife or a spoon. Anything that you have should be fine. Even a toothpick should do. And I'm going to have some wet wipes with me, one or two, just to kind of keep everything clean. And you're also going to need rubbing alcohol. I forget what they're called, but it also helps to have a little dropper for the alcohol to put it into the mixture. But if you don't have that, then that's fine. If you have like a baby medicine syringe, then that works good. If not, then that's okay, because you can just use the cap that comes on top of the alcohol, no problem. So I think that's everything that you're going to need. So what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to open this carefully, and I'm going to put all the powder into this plastic bag. And this actually has some powder all around it, so I'm going to try to open this like in the plastic bag just so I don't lose as much product. So let's see if I can do this. Alright, so I just kind of dumped the whole thing in, and I'm going to get rid of this. This was by e.l.f., by the way, as you can see, and it's Healthy Glow Bronzer. It's in the color Sunkissed, in case you're wondering what I'm doing here. And so I'm just taking the whole entire thing, and I'm putting it in the bag. And I'm opening it while it's in the bag just because it's less messy. And I'm just going to kind of try to tap out all of the loose powder as much as possible. So anything that's loose, just try to get it all in there. And then just do the best you can to get every last drop out of the compact. So as you can see, I still have some left on the sides. So I'm going to take my little spatula, and I'm going to scrape out the sides and try to get it all in the bag, and then I'll come back and show you what that looks like. So while I'm scraping the rest of this in the bag, I'm just going to share a story with you. So as you probably know if you watch my videos, I do makeup professionally, and I had a couple of clients here the other day. It was a mother and daughter, and the mom came in with her own foundation. It's by Lancome, and it is a powder compact. She brought it to me. It was in a million pieces. It was broken, but she just wanted me to know what she likes to use for foundation. Maybe I could save some of it, maybe I could use it, or maybe I could just get an idea of what shade she is. And so that's why she decided to bring it to me, and I'm sitting there trying to scoop out the pieces and put it into a bag because like I feel like I could save the foundation. I also know how to fix it and stuff. So I got the idea to ask her, like, hey, do you want to leave this here? I can fix it for you if you trust me. If you want me to fix it, I can do that. And the mom didn't speak English very well, but she's sitting there telling her daughter, like, yes, let's do that. Lancome is expensive, and so I don't blame her for wanting to try to save it. So she did leave it with me, and I did end up fixing it, and I actually have it right next to me so I can show you what the final result was. Now this was in a bag, and it was in like a million pieces, powder everywhere, all over the outside of the container. And so now this is what it looks like. So it's all clean for the most part. And then I pressed it, and this is what it looks like now. So as you can see, it's pretty much like new. She must have broken it soon after she got it because there's still a lot of product left. But it made me feel really happy that I could fix this for her. And so now next time they come back, you know, for their next appointment, she's going to be able to go home with her fresh foundation. So it made me happy that I could do this for somebody. Because, you know, not everybody knows how to do that. And for a while, like, I wouldn't know what to do. I probably would have just thrown it away or something. But it was expensive, so glad I could save it. So I'm just doing the best I can to get every last drop into the bag. And I think it's pretty much as good as it's going to get. So this is what the empty container looks like. And this is all of the product in the bag. So what you're going to want to do now is just get it all in the corner. And then Ziploc the bag like this. And you're going to want to press it with your fingers to try to make the powder as fine as possible. You don't want any chunks in there at all. So make sure you squish all of it and make it go back to a very, very fine powder form. Making sure you get all the lumps out. And then after I'm done doing this, I'm going to take some cleaner, like a wipe or maybe some alcohol, and just try to clean this up as much as I can just to make it look nicer. And then after I'm finished doing that, I'll show you what's next. Alright, so I did the best I could to squish this up and get it back into like a fine powder form. So this is what it looks like, and you just want to try to get all the powder into one corner of the bag so you don't waste any of the product. And then this is what the container looks like now. So it's much better than before. Before there's powder everywhere. So the next thing I'm going to try to do is get all the powder into this pan. Very carefully. I'm going to just like inside out the bag. So here's what I'm doing. I'm grabbing the corner of the makeup like this. I'm going to inside out the bag like this. And I'm going to very carefully pour all of this powder into the empty pan. Hopefully without making a huge mess. Oops, let me do that so you can actually see what I'm doing. Really try to save as much as you can. I know it seems silly, but it really amounts to a lot. So obviously there's going to be powder stuck to the inside of the bag. It's just static and there's not a whole lot you can do about that. So I got most of it out. I'm just going to throw this away. And this is what this looks like. So here we are. Now what you're going to want to do is take your rubbing alcohol and pour it into the cap or whatever you're going to use to get the alcohol into this. And I think I'm just going to use... I'll find something to use, but you just want to like pour a little bit at a time, and as you're doing that you want to stir it, and you want the consistency to be like a wet paste. So I'm going to do that and I'll show you what the consistency looks like so you can get the right idea. I added the alcohol and I stirred it up and it's looking really gross and muddy. But this is basically the consistency that you want it to be. Like, you can see it's glistening. It's like still very wet, but it's stiff. Like if I turn it like that, it's not gonna just fall out. You don't want it to be too wet. You just want it to be like a really good, like toothpaste. I would say toothpaste is the best way to describe it. So now that it's like all stirred up, it's toothpaste consistency. So now I have a little cotton bud ready because the sides are really messy. And I'm just going to go like this a couple times because it's going to flatten it, but at the same time it's going to make the air bubbles that are inside that got mixed in come up to the top, which is exactly what we want. I don't want any air bubbles in here at all because if an air bubble gets in, it's basically going to ruin the makeup. And I don't want that. So sorry about the noise, but see that hole right there? That's a sign that an air bubble got released out of the top. So I'm going to hit this harder a couple more times and I'm going to clean the outside up with this cotton bud and we'll go from there. I got out a lot more air bubbles and it's flattened out pretty good. So with e.l.f., The products are pretty good, but they're cheap because they do tend to cheap out on the packaging. So the problem I'm going to have with this particular product is that, let's see, the bottom is just clear and plastic. So some of that alcohol and some of the bronzer is going to like seep into the bottom. So hopefully I don't have too many issues. But I basically just wanted to show you how this is done. And for $1, or actually no, it wasn't even $1 because I got half off. For 50 cents, it's worth it because then maybe you can learn how to fix your makeup, especially with the higher end brands. You really don't want to waste that. So this is what it looks like so far. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it over here by the window just to kind of sit and dry. You should let it sit for about 2 hours, and then I will show you after 2 hours what to do from here. All right, now it's been a couple of hours, and as you can see, the alcohol kind of evaporated off of the top. It's still a really messy container, but I can do the best I can to clean that up afterwards. So right now, what I want to do is grab like either an old t-shirt or a piece of cloth, something, or even a tissue would work as long as it's strong enough, but I'm just going to use a wet wipe. And so what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to spray it with some alcohol. A little bit, and then I'm going to put that part on top of this. Just like so. And I want to find something that's basically the same size as the pan, and I think that this would be my best bet. So what I'm going to do here is just basically just press really hard just to compact the powder again. Ooh, why does it look like that? It looks orange. Alright, so I'm peeling it off, and this is what the surface looks like now. Oh, by the way that you can make sure that this is like good to go after you've let it dry for a little while is just to lightly put your finger on it, and if you don't get any like transfer onto your finger, then that's how you know it's like dry enough to compress. So this is what it looks like now that I've kind of like just pressed it into place and peeled that off. And so what I'm going to do is just clean off the edges to make it look nicer, and that'll be it. After this, I'm just going to let it dry for a little bit longer before using it, but that's pretty much all you have to do. So that's how you fix your broken compact powders. You can do this with foundation and blush and all the other stuff that I mentioned. So hopefully you found this helpful, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.